Hello.
Hi.
I'm Tim Rogers, and you were watching Kotaku.com. I'm here with
Heather Alexandra. I am also from Kotaku.com. We're playing Devil May Cry 5.
also known as Devil May Cry.
DMC
Starring
5. Starring at the moment, Nero.
Devil May Clive.
Devil May Clive.
That's a joke I made in my own video.
I'm kind of revving my sword here, even though it's already been revved. So we're going to go through each of the characters and show you some stuff right now, just so you know.
Yeah.
Default mode, Devil Hunter, just showing off all the characters. I've played through this game. You've played through this game. It's great. It's
Devil
fun.
Hunter is the highest difficulty you can select when you first start the game.
And then after that, I think it goes to like Son of Sparta.
Though we know you would have chosen the higher difficulty if you could have.
If I could have.
Yeah,
there's a human mode. I've never touched that. I don't want to. So
I'm not a human. I'm a game liker. So
we're gonna show off Nero.
Let's try to make this accessible to people who have not played these games, because it has been a very long time since Devil May Cry 4, which was the most recent Devil May Cry game.
Nero was the protagonist of Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, and Dante came in later.
Dante did most of that. I'm just revving this sword.
Nero's real cool. So one of Nero's abilities is Nero by squeezing the left trigger on the controller. This felt really good on the Xbox 360.
Let's get rid of this so I can.
By squeezing the left trigger and revving repeatedly, you can see that he revs the handle of his sword like a motorcycle, and what this does is it increases the damage that you will do.
Damage sometimes unlocks a couple of special attacks. Takes a little bit of tapping if you don't know the rhythm. I'm kind of bad at it sometimes.
It's a little busy work to throw on your brain while you're in the middle of a combat, and
you can do it during combat to get a little bit of extra damage. Though,
the game rewards mindfulness of all varieties during combat.
Has a pistol, has all sorts of stuff. So let's get into some.
Let's get into a combat. So
it's going to be hard for me to talk and do combat. But
we have a limit of exactly 20 minutes of video footage that we are allowed to capture. So we're gonna skip the cutscenes.
So if I'm revved up all the way,
you can shoryuken the heck out of that dude. Yeah, so this is just the sword, and the sword has.
If I want to rev as I attack, I can get some firepower going. I have a grapple hook.
Yeah, the grappling hook. So the grappling hook is neat. You use the right bumper, which is your lock on, and then you press the
pistol too, which is.
You can hold the X button to charge it. Let's talk about this grappling hook. So the grappling hook can pull enemies in. So that's Nero's particular personality, is that he's all about getting the enemies closer to himself.
And he also has this nonsense, which is he has these things called Devilbreakers, which are fists that you can do a bunch of stuff with.
That replaces left hand because he has lost one of his hands, and he now uses robotic hands, and he is a reckless sort of person. So his replaceable hands break very easily. If you just tap the B button, we're playing on the Xbox One because
he has a bunch of different ones
Xbox rules.
So I just beat the shit out of all those
That's
guys.
a double S. That's a 6 skills. So if you just press the B button, he will use the Devilbreakers basic melee attack, which is usually really strong.
In this case, it's an electric shock. In the Punchline's case, it throws a punch that can automatically attack. It's really good for building combos.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. So let's get to at least one other bit of combat.
If you use this Devilbreaker, it then becomes equipped. It becomes his weapon, and if you then take damage before switching to a different weapon, you will break the Devilbreaker.
They can break. You can also sacrifice them to
by
do
pressing
like
the left bumper button.
A little explosion to get some extra damage. We're skipping some of these cutscenes to give us extra time.
Expunging your Devilbreaker by just like blasting it off by pressing the Devil trigger button.
So I can also blow it up like that.
That actually gets you out of a lot of really tight situations if you're in like a very desperate situation. And in case you've never played a Devil May Cry game, you'll notice the combo counter on the right side of the screen. That adds up. Starts at D.
I'm trying to show off moves, so I'm getting.
You're not going for combos right now. We'll go for combos maybe when we get to Dante. Yeah. So if you hold down the X button, Nero will charge up multiple shots into his gun.
Pistol,
yeah. So let's see.
You can
and then it'll do this incredible stun attack. Which I'm gonna admit it's not the most satisfying gun I've ever charged up in a game.
This is a different Devilbreaker. So you saw mine just break. So now I actually don't have.
You're out of
any,
DBs, yeah.
But I do have this, which you get later, which is Devil Trigger, which I think basically all enemies have. I'm probably gonna end up with a B, maybe an A.
For this whole, you got an A for this. Oh.
Yeah, so we'll finish it off. But you have a lot of different tools as Nero. So Nero's big thing is getting in people's faces, beating the shit out of people, using those Devilbreakers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is you get a Nidhogg hatchling to put inside of this disgusting hamburger lips thing.
Yeah. So
which is really gross, which I find really funny.
I feel a little bit bad about that last combat experience because first off, I burned through all my Devilbreakers.
Oh yeah, there's a couple more in this.
Trying to show off all those moves, took some hits. I usually like to get those S ranks.
There's usually Devilbreakers lying around.
Yeah, you can find them around, which is really,
I think
really nice.
There might be one down that hall.
Do you think there's one over there?
Yeah, there's almost always one if you just like poke down into a hall, like off a path.
Well, no, a little bit of red orbs,
some red
which
orbs.
is nice. Depending on how many, how you time pressing the Y button is how you get into a bunch of different combos.
So yeah, Devil May Cry combos are all about press the Y button twice and then wait and then press it 3 times, or press it once and then wait and press it twice. They're all about the length, variable pause length. And it's all very readable, and it's all tied to animation. And if you've never tried getting into this series, it's actually surprisingly intuitive for a game with such a hardcore reputation.
Right, it's mostly timing based.
Oh, there's the Nidhogg hatchling. Yeah.
We have 2 more characters to show off.
Yeah, we're gonna show both of the other characters.
V, and then of course,
Tony Redgrave.
Yes. This takes place in Redgrave City, which I think is
Tony Redgrave.
so funny. That's his name in like novelizations. We're talking about Dante.
Yeah. Well, no, he is referred to Tony Redgrave, or referred to as Tony Redgrave in some lore memos in this game. So that's not just a fact for Maniac fans anymore. A maniac is what they call a person who's a big fan of something in Japanese. Did you know that? Maniaku. Oh man, Nero cannot stay his profanities.
There we go. So A ranks, S ranks, feels pretty good. Nero is just really intuitive. He's actually probably my favorite to play as, if only because he's really straightforward.
He's a wonderful piece of action game design. Let this thing slurm on into that hamburger
delicious.
hole. Get in there.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna switch over to V now.
Another egg in the burger hole.
Yeah.
And now we're here with the mysterious V,
mysterious V,
as he is referred to in the intro of the game. V is a sort of, in my video, I refer to him as he looks like somebody poured half of Adam Driver out on a supermarket floor.
Yeah,
he's got sort of the Crow vibe going on. He's a bit of a beastomancer, as I would call him.
He has control over all these beasts, and his thing is that he
has 3 demon buddies.
Yeah, and then he has to land the final blow on enemies.
Yeah, for some reason they're demons, so they can't kill demons. Demons can't kill demons is the lore explanation.
Right, and so a lot of what you're doing as V
is commanding your buddies from a distance.
Oh, I thought that they were weak enough for me to take care of. V's really good for juggling enemies.
Yeah. So he's got his panther buddy and he's got his crow buddy.
So I had a double S there and I dropped it.
And then he has a really satisfying ability, which is once an enemy gets into the critical state, the killable state,
just can warp right to him.
Yeah, their cursor changes into a squiggly, distressed-looking lock-on cursor.
Let's get to a bigger battle because he actually has one more buddy that can show up to.
Oh, the big buddy.
The big buddy.
The Devil Trigger.
So when he hits his Devil Trigger, he can summon just the biggest dude.
Yeah, this big old golem.
Big old bud.
Yeah,
and,
big buddy.
And so
I love his run animation where he surfs
when he starts surfing
on his bro.
His dark cloud.
Yeah, his flying nimbus.
Yeah. So let's get through this area.
So this is the second mission. This is the first non-tutorial mission. That green crystal over there is life, but you don't need it. This game's all about attack the big red crystalline jello blob
that thing.
to open up the door. So your crow buddy fires fires plasma gun lasers.
He does like little lasers.
Yeah. And then your panther buddy does
so they can do a lot. So if I hold down like with my bird, he can do a ton of stuff.
Do this lightning attack. Where's Panther Buddy? Oh, there he is.
He's up there. But if I hold back, he can kind of do some area of denial stuff. V's big thing is like being in the right position at the right time.
Yeah, lording over the
Yeah,
battles, as it were.
He's very slow. He's kind of fragile. So you just got to know the right place to be.
I love his zoom in and use the. Oh, here's a bigger battle. This is good.
Yeah, so this will be good.
My favorite thing about V is finally, for my entire life, as a child, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for a character in an action game who one of his actions is to literally just read a book
so we're just
during the fight.
We're just gonna double trigger.
So yeah, we're using Devil Trigger to bring in Golem Buddy, Big Boy, Big Friend, as I call him. I call him Big Friend. And he fights on his own. You actually don't have to input any commands to him.
If you want to, with the right ability, you can climb on his back and do some stuff, which is pretty wild.
You can also do more intermediate Devil Trigger effects, which is to buff your other buddies by pressing the left trigger and then distance or close quarters attack.
Right, it's not always necessary.
Yeah,
it's not. Do it.
It's cool in some boss scenarios. It turns out to be real good. So V's all about. I feel like he's like, what if Devil May Cry were a JRPG?
Where you just had like a bunch of weird Pokemon minions and stuff.
I mean, this is like...
This might get me an S.
This is the perfect blueprint for... You got a single S, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like V is a good blueprint for a Pokemon action game.
I guess so.
The buddies fight so well, and the strategy of positioning him in a good place to stay away from the enemies. Can you show the book, reading the book?
Yeah, so
to charge your Devil Trigger, you do this.
Is it hitting in on the...
It's hold down R2.
What is...
The trigger. It's your non-Devil Trigger.
Oh, I was hitting the stick in.
He very slowly takes the book out and whips it open with this sweet animation.
Reading stuff, so let's get...
And you'll notice that purple gauge up there begins to charge up as he reads it.
It's
I believe you have to read it during combat for it to actually have an effect, but that's what it looks like. And it's so cool to, especially with my Elite controller, because I'm holding the right trigger to read the book, and then you have to use the right bumper to lock on to enemies. So what I like to do is I have my lock on my right paddle on my Xbox One Elite controller.
You love using those paddles.
So I can read the book and lock on and command my minions at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the game really wants me to do that, but I feel like a genius for doing that.
I always forget. So I don't forget about the book, but the thing is that if you're aggressive enough with your combat, you can build up Devil Trigger pretty quick.
So I guess as soon as the game taught me that I could do these intermediate Devil Triggers to power up my little buddies,
your little buds,
I started doing it fairly frequently because I found that
right, which I believe looks a little bit like that.
Yeah, there you go. He's juiced a little bit there. So you'll also notice V has on the left side of the screen, he has two, you have the life meters for your buddies. And in order to recharge your buddies' health, you have to stand next to them, which puts you in danger. And V's very fragile, low defense.
Right, he doesn't move very quick, so you see I'm trying to be really careful with my dodges.
His dodge is pretty slow. Yeah, you'll see he just moves this contemplative movement. But see, once I saw the book reading animation, I got addicted to reading the book. And it feels real good to be getting like a triple S combo while reading the book the whole time. And now we're going to take a look at somebody else I think you all know.
Tony Redgrave. Dante.
All right, now we got Dante Redgrave.
Dante Redgrave.
So the thing about Dante is by the time you get him in the game is done teaching you about stuff, right? So when you get Dante has everything. He has brought everything he loves from his house. Everything that sparks joy from Dante's home, he has brought with him. And he has how many weapons?
Too many. I'm getting hit.
He has a full arsenal of weapons.
He gets some more. And then he also has access to every one of his styles from
I mean, Dante is incredible. So they basically made 3 action games.
Yeah, so I'm getting beat the fuck up here.
Like Nero, V, and Dante, each one of them could have been their own video game, in my opinion. They're all that well tuned, that well balanced. They're sweet and they're beautiful. And Dante's just loaded with stuff and techniques, and by the time you get this far in the game, you will have played so much. So if there was a And I realize it's hard to talk while playing this game, and it's hard to think.
Especially with Dante, because there's so much stuff to keep track of.
There are so many things you have to remember that you can do, how to do them, when to do them, when is good to do them.
Let's establish that he has multiple different guns, he has tons of weapons, and then stances. So Trickster lets you dodge, and then Gunslinger lets you do wild gun stuff, and then Royal Guard is really hard, and I've never been good at it. And if you time it, you do counters, and then Swordmaster either does, you know,
he's got a little hat there
Phantom
as
Swords
well.
there, or like, so where's the nunchuck? So normally he has like that, or you know, with Swordmaster he can turn it into a thing. This is a weird weapon, by the way, because it actually uses up red orbs.
Oh yeah, the red orb shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just give you a fully loaded Dante right out the gate as soon as you get him, which kind of owns a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. So Dante is super fun to play as. It's just there's a lot. Right. So the reason it's just like bananas to
talk and play at the same time, it's very difficult.
There might not be enough enemies to get me some triple S.
As I say in my video, Devil May Cry is a musical instrument, the playing of which requires the wearing of a Rolex on each wrist. So, I don't know what that means. Though there's just... He's got a 2-piece motorcycle that he can use each half as a weapon. That S is staying single. Oh my god.
Oh, so it dropped in there.
Oh, he got hit. Just an absolute symphony of mechanical noise here. And it's just all so well made for all its trashy, schlocky, hot topicy Blade the anime veneer. The game has this extremely purposeful
so
combat.
we only ended that on an S.
Just this beautiful combat. Oh, we got this wizard who from a distance can conjure magma fingers. Dante's wearing his full suit of armor there for a second. Ooh!
Oh, it's because we beat unique enemies. Sometimes it'll do this on your, especially on your second playthroughs.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I got hit.
If you want to just finish this battle, for me, so that I can use this.
Let's...
Oh, this battle's good. Oh my god, yes. Oh yeah. Ah. So what does triple S stand for in this game?
Smokin' sexy style?
Smokin' sexy style. Despite the fact that multiple characters express concern, disinterest, and anger toward the character who smokes cigarettes, they then decide to use the word smokin' to mean cool. Dante's dodge is so good. That motion blur is so sweet.
All that Trickster style stuff is like...
Just an absolute masterpiece of particle effect artistry.
Dante is like the one I have the hardest time with. Oh, it's still going.
Oh, this is great. This is your classic Devil May Cry battle arena. Dante has just so much going on. It's like a year's worth of video gaming for like a fan of this series. Like how much stuff they put in here. It's like you can sift through this for like hypothetical years. Oh! Smoking sexy style. Tony Redgrave, we're here with the smoking sexy style. Oh, the enemy has a cowboy hat on now. Oh, this owns so hard.
Did we stop recording?
No, we're still recording.
Oh, so we can toss this.
Yeah, we can toss this in.
So there it is. We had a couple of moments of difficulty there. Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
This was Tim Rogers and
Heather Alexandra
playing Devil May Cry 5 here on Kotaku.com.